times in your life when you feel most fulfilled, when you feel most alive. Maybe it's the late nights with your friends, when you spend hours talking into the darkness. Maybe it's those ice cream trips with your mom, where the smiles and sweetness melt your worries away. Maybe it's the Super Bowl Sundays, where the air is buzzing with passion. Or maybe it's those moments after a big performance, when your parents offer a smile of pure pride. Now, as you're caught up reminiscing in your own collection of priceless times, think about what they all have in common. Whether they're embellished with friends, family, or peers, none of them are relished alone. And the number of likes or comments on your IG recent, that doesn't make it on there. Why? Because it lacks the magic of human connection.
Our world is so caught up in making advancements and incorporating technology into every aspect of our lives. Yet in the novel Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, the characters living in a post-apocalyptic world are able to live by the motto, survival is insufficient. Why? Because not every one of their interactions happens behind the screen. In other words, they can keep this magic alive. They embrace art, which has the power to touch all of our hearts. They hold on to memories because the deepest level of human connection forms through experiences. And they nurture the relationships in their lives, always keeping them close. Survival is insufficient without human connection because our hearts do more than just beat. They feel.
Now, with all the divisions in the world, this connection can seem difficult to attain. We're divided by geography, language, culture, mindset. But the one expression that can break through all these barriers is art. In the bright lights of a concert, the crowd's voices merge into one. And in the darkness of a movie theater, the screen holds the entire audience captive on the same wavelength, allowing them to escape from the routine of life. When we immerse ourselves in art, it can bring out the best in us. Kirsten experiences this firsthand every single time she performs, including her performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream at St. Deborah by the Water. Kirsten as Titania, a crown of flowers on her close-cropped hair, her jagged scar half erased in the candlelights. When she commits herself to her role, the rest of the world falls away, and she feels truly alive. The scars of her past take the backseat, as in those moments, she is completely in control. And while maintaining relationships requires riding through the good and bad of a person, most initial connections are made through glimpsing one's best qualities. This can be seen through an indie fan being exuberant at a concert, or through a friend showing vulnerability during a romantic movie. Either way, this connection is seen as people form priceless bonds that last a lifetime.
In other cases, art can transform the mood of a crowd. The symphony's performances tend to have this effect wherever they go, and it can be seen especially at Severn City Airport. They stayed for 5 weeks, resting and making repairs to the caravans, performing Shakespeare and music on alternate evenings, and an orchestral and theatrical hangover lingered in their wake. For the numerous years that all those people called the airport their home, there was always the hanging despair regarding how much had been taken from them. Yet once the symphony cast their magical spell, the inhabitants began to hum, and the children began to practice swordplay. A certain lightness overtook the air. Hope for the future, or hope for the possibility that a joyful future is near, returned. And nothing has a power to bring people together like hope does. In other forms of art, such as national anthems, millions are united through the power of patriotism. Essentially, art finds a way to strip away our differences and intertwine us in a beautiful tapestry. Let's move on to a deeper topic. When do we truly die? Of course, we all eventually have to confront physical death. However, if we think about it, We don't simply vanish from this world just because our bodies decay. We truly die when we're forgotten by people. This thought was sparked by the philanthropist that Frank ghostwrites after the Georgia flu outbreak. They're all immortal to me. First, we only want to be seen. And once we're seen, that's not enough. After that, we want to be remembered. Memories are powerful tools that allow humanity to sustain itself. Even in the post-apocalyptic world in Station 11, the characters hold on to their past experiences. For instance, Kirsten carries memories of Arthur, even though she last saw him at the age of 8. I don't remember many details about him because I don't remember very much about anything from that time. But I've retained a sort of impression of him, if that makes sense. I know he was kind to me, and we had some sort of friendship. Arthur's body clearly left the world, but he's forever embedded in Kirsten's memory. Kirsten's precious memory with Arthur motivates her to collect and carry artifacts such as the paperweight, comic books, and gossip magazines. Such actions are obviously not necessary for survival, but Kirsten does it regardless because she sees values in her memory, and this brings her comfort despite living in the unsafe post-apocalyptic world. In fact, Kirsten isn't the only one who holds on to memories. When Clark gets stuck at Severance City Airport, he begins to exhibit various artifacts from the world before the Georgia flu, which include but are not limited to phones, credit cards, and books. They looked insubstantial there, so he added his laptop. And this was the beginning of the Museum of Civilization. He mentioned it to no one, but when he came back after a few hours, someone had added another iPhone, a pair of 5-inch red stiletto heels, and a snow globe. Again, gathering objects from the past is not necessary for survival. But by doing so, the survivors can preserve the evidence of civilization, and they can appreciate what they were granted in the past. Some critics may say that the Museum of Civilization can be dispiriting to some youth because there were breathtaking technological advancements in the past, yet the present is bleak. However, due to such circumstances, the memories can prompt the survivors and the youth to work together and move forward, beginning the civilization yet again, and forming some intimate bonds through a shared idea of hope for the future. The Museum of Civilization also allows people to learn that humanity depended on technology way too much and ignored the importance of values and human connections. According to Dr. Heath, a professional psychiatrist from Texas with a PhD degree, declarative memory refers to the conscious recall of things. Such a type of memory allows the reflection upon the past, which encourages humanity to improve the present. We as humans don't blindly seek survival. By the use of memories, we feel the emotions and we form the roots of human connections.
If memories are the roots of human connection, then relationships are the trees that grow from them. Now, there are two types of trees. There are the deciduous ones, which lose their leaves come fall. Once the warmth fades and the weather gets chilly, they bail out. Most of Arthur's relationships were deciduous trees, and the one we get the most insight on is his marriage with Miranda. In the beginning, when he was captivated by her incredible minds and her beauty, the leaves of their relationship were full. But once his Hollywood life began unraveling, the leaves began falling. Relationships require communication and work, yet Arthur failed to put that in. He was so caught up in an advancing world where the better option is always sought after, where everyone follows the easier path to happiness. He believed he had found this in Elizabeth, as he mentioned to V in one of the letters. She has such grace, beauty, but far more important than that, a kind of lightness I hadn't realized I'd been missing. So Arthur resorted to cheating on Miranda, and before long, they were in the dead of winter, with all the branches remaining completely bare. This occurred time and time again, with other wives, friends, and even his son. In a life booming with fame and technology, Arthur felt frozen. But then, we shift to the symphony members, who are living in a world where civilization has been brought to ruins. There's utterly no glamour and no technology. But their relationship, it falls under the second category of trees. It is evergreen. A piece of this love is shown through the poem that August slips Kirsten. It is meant to ease her misery after their separation from Dieter and Said. It reads, a fragment for my friend. If your soul left this earth, I would find and follow you, silent, my starship suspended in nights. They have endured the harshest of times together, from walking in the scorching heat for hours to being forced to kill. They've confronted the coldest of days and darkest of nights, but yet the leaves on their tree still remain. A key reason for this is that they had no option of an easy way out. There were no iMessage keyboards to hide behind when emotions were off. There was no flow of Instagram comments to ease the impact of their pain. So they were compelled to self-reflect on the value of their relationships and make conscious decisions to give these bonds everything they had. It is this which consistently led them to carry through on the number one responsibility in any relationship: showing up when it matters. And it's this which made even the most brutal of times bearable.
When you stop and think about it, our mission in life is very simple. Be happy and make others happy. And the key to being happy is equally simple. Build bonds with others. A renowned writer, Robin Sharma, once said, "The business of business is relationships, and the business of life is human connection." Yet this very man also recognizes how in our world, this connection is increasingly lacking. We live in a world where many of us have a lot of friends on Facebook, but we have lost human connection.
While the key to a fulfilling life may seem simple enough on paper, the vast majority of us spend our years chasing some elusive golden key. Like Arthur, we prioritize fame, money, prestige, approval, and lose sight of what truly matters. Yet we have the ability to reevaluate what matters. We all can choose to connect over others with the art around us. We all can choose to cherish the various memories of our past. We all have the means to make those in our lives feel like they truly matter. And we all have the power to not just survive, but to truly live.